Some refrigerator repairs can save you hundreds of dollars. Others are simply expensive ways to delay buying a new refrigerator. And the dangerous part? From the outside, both decisions can look exactly the same. Your refrigerator stops cooling. You call a technician. A part has failed. You receive a repair quote. And now you have to make a decision. Fix the refrigerator you already own, or walk away and buy another one. But there are 5 refrigerator failure situations that should make you think very carefully before approving an expensive repair, especially if your refrigerator is already getting older. Because sometimes the broken part isn't the real problem. The real problem is the pattern. Welcome to the repair verdict. Before you pay the repair bill, we examine the age, the failure, the repair cost, and the risk of what breaks next. Then we give the verdict. Fix it. Fix it with conditions. Or replace it. Today, we're looking at 5 refrigerator failure situations where repairing the machine may be the wrong financial decision. And failure number 5 is the one many homeowners completely underestimate. Let's start with number 1. A major compressor or sealed system failure on an aging refrigerator. The compressor is one of the most important components in the refrigerator's cooling system. When the compressor fails, the refrigerator may stop cooling properly. The freezer may begin warming. Food starts to soften. And eventually, the entire refrigerator becomes unusable. But here's the problem. Compressor and sealed system work can be expensive. The repair may involve specialized labor, refrigerant handling, leak testing, and other cooling system work. Now, imagine your refrigerator is 12 years old. The technician gives you a major repair quote. Maybe the repair costs $800, maybe more. A comparable replacement refrigerator costs $1,500. The repair is technically possible, but the question is not, can this refrigerator be repaired? The question is, what am I buying with this repair? You're buying a new or repaired cooling component inside a 12-year-old refrigerator. The ice maker is still 12 years old. The control electronics are still aging. The fans have years of use. The door seals have years of wear. The entire machine does not become new because one expensive component was replaced. This does not mean every compressor failure requires replacement. If the refrigerator is relatively young and the compressor has manufacturer warranty coverage, the repair decision can look completely different. But an expensive sealed system repair on an older refrigerator? That's our first warning. The verdict? Replace it, especially when the repair cost is approaching a significant percentage of realistic replacement cost. Failure number 2. Repeated refrigerant leaks. One cooling system problem may be repairable, but when the refrigerator repeatedly loses refrigerant or continues developing sealed system problems, you need to examine the pattern. Imagine this. Your refrigerator stops cooling. A technician identifies a refrigerant-related problem. The system is serviced. The refrigerator works again. 6 months later, the cooling performance drops. Another service call, another diagnosis, another repair. Then it happens again. At this point, stop evaluating each repair separately. The first repair may have seemed reasonable. The second may also have seemed cheaper than replacement. But repeated cooling system problems are telling you something. The machine may have an unresolved leak. There may be multiple weak points in the sealed system. Or the original underlying problem may never have been completely corrected. The important question is, why does this keep happening? Simply adding refrigerant without identifying and addressing the cause of refrigerant loss is not a long-term financial strategy. If your refrigerator has already had repeated sealed system service and is once again not cooling, be extremely careful about approving another expensive repair. Add the previous repair costs. Then add today's quote. Now compare that number with the price of a realistic replacement. You may discover that you've already spent a large amount trying to save an unreliable refrigerator. The verdict? Replace it if the refrigerator is older and repeated refrigerant or sealed system problems continue returning. Failure number 3. Multiple control board and electrical failures. Modern refrigerators can contain multiple electronic components: control boards, sensors, user interface electronics, inverter-related components on some systems, and other electrical controls. One electronic failure does not automatically make a refrigerator a bad machine. A control board can fail. A sensor can stop working. A component can be replaced. The problem begins when electrical failures become a pattern. Imagine replacing a control board. 8 months later, another electronic problem appears. The refrigerator starts behaving unpredictably. Temperature changes. The display stops responding. The compressor does not operate correctly. The refrigerator occasionally shuts down. Another technician visit. Another component. Another repair bill. Now you need to ask an uncomfortable question. Are you repairing individual failed components, or are you chasing an electrical problem through an aging refrigerator? This distinction matters. If the technician can identify one specific failed component and confidently explain the repair, the machine may still be worth fixing. But if multiple electrical components have failed, the diagnosis is uncertain, and the refrigerator continues developing unpredictable problems. The financial risk increases. Why? Because electronic troubleshooting can become expensive, and replacing one board does not guarantee another aging electrical component won't fail later. Again, look at the pattern. One failure may be repaired. Repeated electronic failures? The verdict moves toward replace it, especially when the refrigerator is older and repair costs are accumulating. Failure number 4. Ice maker problems combined with cooling problems. An ice maker failure by itself is usually a very different financial decision from a major cooling system failure. Your refrigerator may still keep food cold. The freezer may work normally. You simply don't have ice. Annoying? Yes. Reason to replace the entire refrigerator? Usually not by itself. But now imagine the ice maker has already been repaired. Then it fails again. The refrigerator begins developing temperature problems. The freezer is inconsistent. You hear unusual fan noises. Food occasionally freezes in the refrigeration section. Then the machine stops cooling properly. This is no longer an ice maker decision. You now have problems affecting multiple systems. And this is where homeowners can become trapped by previous repair costs. I already spent $400 fixing the ice maker, so I should repair the cooling problem too. No. The $400 is gone. It should not force you into another expensive repair. This is called the sunk cost problem. Your decision begins today. If the refrigerator has developed problems across multiple systems, look at the machine as a whole. Ice maker, cooling, fans, electronics, water system. If failures are spreading across different parts of an aging refrigerator, another repair may only solve the newest symptom. The verdict? Fix it with conditions if the refrigerator is relatively young and the problems are clearly isolated. But on an older refrigerator with repeated failures across multiple systems, replace it. And now we reach failure number 5. Multiple major repairs within 2 years. This is the failure pattern many homeowners underestimate because technically it isn't one failure. It's a history. Imagine your refrigerator is 9 years old. 2 years ago, the ice maker failed. You paid $300. Last year, the control board failed. Another $500. 6 months ago, the refrigerator developed a cooling problem. $400. Now, the compressor has failed. The new repair quote is $800. What do most people do? They look only at today's repair. $800 to repair, $1,500 to replace. The repair is cheaper, so fix it. But that's the wrong calculation. Look at the previous 24 months. $300 plus $500 plus $400 plus today's $800 quote. That's $2,000. You've now committed more money to repairs than the cost of the realistic replacement we're comparing against. Of course, the previous repair money is already gone. You cannot recover it. But the repair history gives you valuable information. The refrigerator has become unreliable. This is the difference between sunk cost and repair history. Sunk cost should not control your next decision, but repair history should inform your next decision. Past money is gone. Past failures are evidence. Remember that. Past money is gone. Past failures are evidence. If your refrigerator has needed multiple major repairs within a short period and is now facing another expensive failure, the verdict is usually replace it, because you're no longer dealing with an isolated breakdown. You're dealing with a machine that has entered a pattern of failure. Now, I want to be careful here. This video is called Never Repair a Refrigerator After These 5 Failures. But there is no universal rule that applies to every refrigerator in every home. A 5-year-old refrigerator with warranty coverage is different from a 15-year-old refrigerator. A $200 repair is different from an $800 repair. A basic refrigerator is different from a premium built-in model that may cost significantly more to replace. And one clearly diagnosed failure is different from repeated uncertain repairs. That's why the repair verdict uses 5 pieces of evidence: age, exact failure, repair cost, replacement cost, and repair history. Let's make this simple. Major compressor or sealed system failure on an aging refrigerator? Think carefully before repairing. Repeated refrigerant or sealed system problems? Look for the pattern. Multiple electronic failures? Stop chasing components without a clear diagnosis. Ice maker problems combined with cooling and other system failures? Evaluate the whole refrigerator. And multiple major repairs within 2 years? Past failures are evidence. The biggest mistake is replacing a good refrigerator because of one inexpensive repair. But the second biggest mistake is repeatedly repairing an unreliable refrigerator simply because each individual repair costs less than replacement. $300 feels cheaper. Then $500 feels cheaper. Then $400 feels cheaper. Then $800 feels cheaper. Until you look backward and realize you've spent thousands of dollars trying to avoid one replacement purchase. Before approving your next refrigerator repair, do this. Write down the refrigerator's age. Write down today's diagnosis. Write down today's repair quote. Then write down every major repair from the last 2 years. Now look at the entire case, not just today's broken part. Because one failed component may be worth repairing, but a pattern of expensive failures? That's the refrigerator giving you a verdict. And sometimes the smartest repair decision is knowing when to stop repairing. That's the repair verdict. Before you pay the repair bill, examine the whole machine, not just the broken part. If your refrigerator has failed, leave 4 things in the comments: the age of the refrigerator, the problem, the repair quote, and the previous repair history. Your case could be the next repair verdict.